We have quite a few sampling resolutions from Tony, it seems, that we haven't used. The electronic, the meeting minutes, official meeting minute records. We were thinking about that. Okay. All right, let's come back to this in a minute. I'll look for it. All right, Evergreen Memorial. So we have quite a few things here. Tim did not provide any estimate for the signs. We had requested 3, he said. I would certainly like to keep that moving forward to ensure that we receive the 3 estimates long before the 9/11 timeline for when I really wanted to have this move forward. So what I'm thinking here is that maybe I can have somebody else follow up with different companies to get estimates, maybe a little bit quicker. I feel that we provided the requirements a few times very consistently each time, and now we just need estimates to be able to baseline where we're at with it. Because 4x8 might not be what we need. If that's going to be too expensive, maybe we could go to a 3x6. I don't know. Or maybe it's perfectly fine. But right now we have no real clue as to how much it's going to cost.
Right. And sometimes monument companies have a certain size stone available and they'll sell it at a cheap price. And so sometimes if you're a little bit flexible with the color, they want to use a stone, they're more competitive.
That's a really good point.
And sometimes they're out, and so
and I'm pretty flexible.
If it works.
So like a darker gray to a darker color stone, but I don't want a lighter color stone because of how easily dirty it will look then.
Well, that's harder to read.
It's harder to read, yeah. So, okay, mention that. Lot transfer form. So I sent an email to Tim and Jesse related to these different items, and I've been engaged with Jesse a little bit, but we continue to have residents that have questions, and I think that we're very close to an answer. And we had, I thought, a very good working meeting last meeting to address some of these primary issues, which namely are the fact that if you cannot establish ownership, there's nothing that the township can readily do for you. You have to either go through your own legal counsel or you need to go figure it out with the probate. But regardless, until you have your proof of ownership, we can't really intervene or initiate the transfer or do anything on your behalf. And then it seems that there might be some more complexity to this, because we heard back from Mr. Stecco, who said that he would actually need more time to research some specifics here. And we haven't heard back from that.
More specifics on what? I mean, if they have proof, they have proof. If they don't have proof, we can't do anything.
Yeah, that's what I find kind of interesting. So no one has responded to these residents now. And it's been, as you know, in some cases, 1.5 years that they've been trying to get an answer related to a grave transfer,
But why can't we just tell them what
lot transfer.
we said?
I'm not entirely sure. So I wrote back when Mr. Stecco sent the fact that it was complex and that he would need to look more into it. And said, are we good with the forms? And then he wrote back and indicated that it was more complex. And then I said, but the main components discussed are still the same, correct? Proof of ownership is necessary to initiate the transfer. They complete the form. We really need to get this answer cleared up so we can get the general process in place and that kind of thing. And I haven't heard back on that. Yeah, I haven't heard back from her. So if we renamed Evergreen Memorial, we really want to turn a new leaf. We need these efforts to come to something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what else we need to do to keep moving forward, but I wondered what you might suggest to keep things moving forward at this time.
I don't have anything that's.
For example, could we bring on temporary assistants?
Well, I thought we already established that we would do that.
Well, we have an opening for an assistant sexton. That's not a temporary position, that's a position. That person would be the assistant sexton for.
Well, my thought is if you got somebody that would be temporary, they would turn into the assistant.
Potentially, yeah. But then we could get somebody temporary that maybe has some more operations focus to kind of project manage these few projects, and maybe we have work for them, or maybe we don't after.
Are you thinking from a neighboring cemetery?
Possibly. Possibly just somebody with strong organizational skills to come in.
So I'm okay with any of that.
So why don't we have a temporary position posted,
I have no problem with it.
and let's say pay up to work up to 15 timeline.
I'm okay with it.
And let's say
Because I really think they'll turn into the assistant sexton, and that'll be great.
possibly, yeah. And let's say for rate of pay, 20 an hour.
I'm okay with it.
And let's call this position temporary. Temporary, or let's call it wait, what's that? Wasn't there like a cemetery clerk?
I wouldn't call them
No, I'm saying we could do something like cemetery clerical assistant.
So either way is okay with me.
I'll do up to 6 months. Move to approve temporary cemetery assistant position, scheduled to work up to 15 hours per week for a time period of up to 6 months at a rate of up to $20 per hour, depending on experience.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee O'Brien. Discussion. Please call roll.
Ray,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Area. Jesse looked up what he thought was the road right of way based on what ODOT had actually given him. And it seems as though there's only about 8 feet between oh, there it is, yes. It seems there's only about 8 feet between the road right of way and when the headstones start. So not very much space, so I don't think we could get 2 lines of trees
You're right.
definitively. The questions are the green giant thujas, as I they're very, like that's the first.
And when you say a single line, they don't have to be a straight line.
No, just a single, yeah, like, and not equidistant spacing either, so just,
Okay,
you
so
know,
we're
a
on the
couple
same
over
page.
here. But we can really only go about a foot off.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking we would start almost like right at the road right away line. And then go a little bit off somewhere within, and then, you know, a little closer here, a little bit, it's just that privacy screening.
Yep.
The alternative is maybe we do want to do a fence, only because there were some concerns about the potential for the roots to hit the graves that are the closest to that area.
I understand, but I don't understand.
Okay. And then the other aspect to that is in the here. I can't really tell on this map because this is just given the road right. We'll say the name, baby land. but I think we should maybe rename it something else.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, where between the road right of way and the first headstone. If there is nothing buried between we put a good chunk of trees in that area.
Okay.
So, the key would be identifying if there's anything that a little bit of a space, but there's a space that Liberty Township is,
It's Liberty Township.
it's Liberty Township. But they don't do anything with the cemetery. So I think we either need to take the land and call it ours, or they need to maintain that area.
So here's what I think we really should do probably. It's not what I want to do, but what I care about.
Yeah.
In fact, I know they don't want to take care of it. They don't want to have ownership of it. But it's really not ours, or should not be ours. And so we're allowed to make an agreement.
Yeah, I could have the new temporary cemetery assistant work with Liberty on that. Yeah, I think that'd be great. Okay, so landscaping wise, do you think we should still go with the Thujas, knowing that we might have to be replacing them?
No, because it's clearly going to get sold. I mean, it's unfortunate because I would like them there because, after what we talked about, but if they're going to die, and we know they're going to die, they're not going to look pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, a little bit back to the drawing board on that then. I do think that
A question from Ron, but it was a significant number.
yeah. Yeah. I drove by there, so Jesse put white flags along what he thought was the road right of way line. So I drove by there Thursday last week, so you can, if you drive by, check that out. It looked like they had prepped a site, and then the week before I saw a service going on out there, but I don't know about the numbers right now. All right, patches are in. We can remove that from the list. Here they are. Really sweet, right?
I like them.
Really sweet. So now, as things get ordered, we can either heat press them ourselves, or we can take them to Egelhoff and so I just purchase an iron and do it ourselves here.
Well, because if they mess it up, they have to fix it if we mess it up.
Well, I think they'll stay on longer if they put it on too, so we get longevity out of it as well. So we can remove that.
Well, and then probably a higher quality of it being on, because if it's just pressed on, it's going to start to peel later.
Yeah, for sure. We can remove that JED discussion. Okay, so the JED draft has been agreed upon by all parties, but the next step is for whoever is going to initiate the petition to create the JED. They need to agree on the different incentives and what package they want, essentially, aka what package they're going to get, and then they need to initiate the JED with the language that we
have to have somebody.
All the respective parties are in agreement with the language now as it stands, so we're pretty much ready to go on the JED once, a partner wants to.
Well, it sounds like they wanted to, it sounds like they're ready to roll.
Yeah. So I probably, now that they have the approval, I'll probably reach back out and connect the two, our council, for a brief conversation with their council, just to see, have them initiate those next steps, because they have to do it, but we've actually put time and money into the creation of the draft to help. The Microsoft and the OneDrives are not the same. Their access it works differently. So Google Business was meant to be transparent and open the way that governments ought to be.
So I'm not even sure how to get to my Outlook anymore.
So the compromise could be potentially that Fire uses Microsoft and we use Google. So we're not paying for duplicate license, but we can split them in half. Or some departments use this and some use that.
That sounds like a mess.
Yeah. Right now we have it all. And so, but I don't know, do you know of anybody that shares files through Teams, through, OneDrive, through?
No, but, my school uses Outlook, and, I mean, I don't know if it's anything to do with Outlook, but they tried sending a file, because we were supposed to, print out materials as for our textbook instead of an actual textbook, and I had trouble with that.
There's file size limitations, which that exists in Gmail too, but if you attach a file to Gmail that's too large, it puts it into your drive automatically and creates a link. So we use that with the comp plan. Comp plan was too large to send as a file attachment, so put it in, it's like, oh, too large. Creating the link.
I don't like the user friendliness of Outlook personally, but.
My thing is that Outlook was, and it's true of Microsoft products in general, it was meant to be secure and internal to an organization. So getting people outside the organization to be able to share and collaborate, it just wasn't made for that. It's made to kind of contain and get the business done across. Google was made for everybody that has access can get to it, Google was just made to be open.
I understand the conundrum. I don't have a solution though.
Well, I mean, my solution
Is to have both.
is to have
I know your solution. I don't like your solution.
both. Or
when we come to, there's one, it's time to move on.
There we go. There you go. Okay. Let's remove that from the agenda for 2 meetings and then maybe bring it back. Maybe we can look at it at the organizational meeting. Specifications for commercial drives, is there anything more on this?
I don't know of anything new. It's an important thing that we need to resolve, but we need Ron here to talk
Okay,
about that.
so keep that on. Gregory Road is resolved. It is currently a county road and will be so until a resolution is passed, at which time it will be given over to the township. So we can remove that from the agenda. That's been resolved. Fire, we have covered. Fiscal officer items, did you have anything for that?
It just says balanced.
Excellent.
Excellent. You don't know what it's in reference to.
But that's a good thing.
That's a good
The
thing.
next statement, of course.
Cemetery, it says trimming.
Probably tree trimming out here.
It made me think of Chim Chim.
It does, yeah. Trim. Okay, do we need to take any action on this?
No, but that can
Ron was going to address. Paving by Shelby Co. on Meadow Knoll and Whispering Creek started last week and will finish this week on next track days. County forces have completed work on Sherman Road at Big Culver. Road is open to traffic. Continuing to mow roadsides and install new signs as weather permits. Reed Parkway, I met with AEP and we are still waiting on the county surveyor to the edge of the right of way to determine the best outcome for transformer placement. That was such an odd item. We'll update once I have more information.
I spoke with about Reed Parkway.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So I don't want to go into the attorney-client, but there are issues. He thought it would be easy, but.
It never is. It never is. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe if we have to take any action once we get all the information, let us know. Fire inspection. Yes, so we had received an inspection report, a list of things that we could work on. That's great, and we look forward to coming into full compliance within a reasonable timeline. The road superintendent has been working on these items. A few of them were rather low-hanging fruit. They replaced the battery. There's a battery out here. Did they remove that sign entirely? There's right there. Yeah, that thing above this.
Oh, the emergency light.
Yeah, we have to do something with that. kitchen.
Okay.
He's working on that. Her, Megan, and I discussed Thursday, we need to get fire department codes for the maintenance hall building. I don't remember that part of our conversation. Okay. Oh, what is this? Oh, yes, the codes. So one of the items that they said was that they had to have access to the building. And initially they were saying one code. Rest of this money's in the codes very often for individuals, so I think it will work out well. And
And if I were her, I'd let the assistant fiscal officer do that, or assistant to the fiscal officer.
okay, is the assistant to the fiscal officer currently working?
No, but I'm just saying
In general.
in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely have to talk about succession planning for the fiscal office now that no one else has been put on the ballot. So we have until March to resolve that issue, but it needs to be addressed. And I think the right way to address it is to bring on somebody now, maybe one or two people who could be potentials to help keep things moving.
That does make sense, but really all we're allowed to do is the funding. And she has to select.
Oh, yeah. But she has to do all the associated work related to bringing on board and working with and all of that.
And choosing,
And selecting.
because they work at the pleasure of the fiscal officer.
Okay. Okay, the final item for roads. Very exciting. Welcome to and zoning enforced signs. Okay. So let me describe the situation here. And then
You're talking about the size for the placement.
the size and the placement. Yes, the size and the placement. So,
Allowable.
oh, yeah. Jesse said yes from his days in ODOT.
Because Orange put theirs in Borough,
Well,
and I didn't know if that was because of the placement of where ODOT allowed it on certain kinds of signs or what.
here we go.
Because I thought it was strange that they put it there. I thought they would put it after. I mean, obviously they can't put it in the middle of the road, but
Yeah. So, there's currently signs right when you get off of 23. So Shanahan, for example. But other townships do have their signs in the road right away on 23. So I think if we get permission, that would be fine, right? So Jesse went through and identified all the typed ones or ones that currently exist and where they exist. What we were thinking of is there were two sizes for the signs. There were 12 by 18s and there were 18 by 24s. So thinking through kind of a system of why we select the size that we select, just thinking the major arteries in and out of the township should have the larger signs, but then if it was on a township road, for example, like Sherman, that it could have lower signs, the 12 by 18. So just going by that principle, we had a couple of ones change out. So the Cheshire Road at 3Bs and K, when you first enter the township, it has just a 12. He said to put an 18 by 24 on after the railroad track on Cheshire. Well, that would be the 18 by 24. What we would need to resolve is if a smaller one before that.
I want one before that. I only want one. I don't want in, out, in, out. That would be, but on our most it would be accurate. And I'm okay.
I agree. So we had initially just said Cheshire, the railroad tracks 24, 18 by 24. But we'll start it actually. We'll start it here, sorry, at these 8 houses.
First two.
Yeah, right there.
See, we lost that lawsuit, but that should not have been allowed because we created a denial.
Right. So I would like to have, I'll do a small one here then she does. Okay, so let's just go from, so like Plum in Africa, this is a good example. So on Africa Road going up at Plum, 18 by 24. But on Plum, you'd have the 12 by 18. Yeah, 3Bs and K.
Yeah, that's fine.
So like that's kind of and then on 3Bs and K going up in 70, 36, 37, 12 by 18 on 3Bs and K. But then at 36, 37 and 3Bs and K on 36, 37, 18 by 24.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
Okay. So that's kind of how we divided these areas. We had Cheshire Road, we had.
What's a checker?
That means that's what it is and that's what it will still be.
I'm actually surprised that one is that big.
Yeah.
That Jumper Road.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it being smaller, but I don't have a problem with
So we have a couple of problem areas, especially in the west. I thought we were okay with this annex portion because these are still in the township, so we can still start at 3 Bs and K. Okay, Shanahan.
It's not annexed to 367.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why it's okay.
Well,
Um, 23 will be right there, 18 by 24, but on Shanahan, right now it's 12 by 18.
you know,
On Shanahan,
okay, but you pointed to heights.
well, I'm about to get to Hyatt's. But on Shanahan, it's 12 by 18 currently.
Going north.
On Shanahan, going east when you turn off 23.
Okay.
Yeah. On Hyatt's, there's nothing.
There should be something.
I know,
There used to be something.
there isn't anything. So,
Did they remove it when they put that pump station?
Absolutely.
Possible.
So Hyatt's, I'm okay with 12 by 18.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it should be.
So then going up, you're saying, and then,
That would be kind of dumb.
yeah.
Because there isn't even a house there. I mean, it's really a cul-de-sac.
Mhm.
You have to go into the cul-de-sac, to turn around and come back to see that you're entering the township.
Yeah. We had kind of that same debate along 3Bs and K, like where you turn in. Like we have one up here, but then we don't have one at 3Bs and K in Sherman. Because if you are turning on to Sherman, you're
Because
in.
it's on Sherman. You have one on Sherman, right?
No, we don't have one at 3Bs and K in Sherman. Because so any way that you go on 3Bs and K to Sherman, if you're at 3Bs and K in Plum,
Okay.
you've already seen the sign.
I get
If
that.
you're at 36, 37,
I get that.
3Bs and K.
But because of ODOT doing what ODOT's doing, funneling it in there, I want them to see what they're causing the problem. And it's more of a,
Agreed. So this would be Sherman and 3Bs and K. 12 by 18. Okay. Glenn was also another weird one.
that's right. Because this Glen curve is really curved.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need those down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the railroad tracks. Now, there is a section that you're in and out on Glen here, but one is
Sufficient. Okay.
And if you could, are you going to chat with Jesse about this?
Jesse and I have already gone through it all. But I'm gonna follow up with them.
Okay, so I want them to move that sign on Glen Road when they put it up, because it looks like we're not maintaining that hole in the road that's in the city. Because the sign is.
Where is that at? Where's that at?
It is right.
Right where it says, "Let's go, Brandon."
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't wanna look like we aren't maintaining the road.
And you want the sign to go
So
further
that
south?
Yes, so that it's really the demarcation of rural township. I mean, if there wasn't a hole in the road, I would say, who really cares, 5 feet off, but it looks like we're being negligent.
Yeah. Okay. And I did change the one at 3637 in Sweeney. Right now it's a 12 by 18. I want it to be an 18 by 24.
Okay, now, which way is that?
When you're It says Sweeney.
Well, there is a swinging sign, but that's not the sign it's on. It's on the,
It's on the Township Road sign.
yeah,
Okay.
that is,
Well, I don't think that we need it when you turn, you don't need, so if it's on the sign right now, the placement is fine then to turn in. And there'll be another one on Sweeney after you turn.
okay, but there's the township line, so.
Yeah, and
you're
it's
going
right here.
For going this way.
Yeah.
But it's not for going that.
But it's on the,
That's what we're doing at home, right? We're doing Africa go. Right,
yeah, we are. So we'll do 12 by 18 on Sweeney. Yeah, we'll do 12 by 18 on Sweeney.
actually, that doesn't make sense. On Plum, no, not Sweeney, but on Plum, because you're entering the township coming from Berkshire onto Plum, and you're entering it from Genoa way. But coming.
No, but you're coming down
When you're coming from
Africa south
onto
to
Plum,
left on Plum.
you're not entering the township because it started clear of Heights.
Well, so can't be in front.
You're entering this way, you're not entering the township. But you're entering it going that way. See, unlike here at the cross section, you're entering the township.
But either way,
But here you're going from
Yeah.
Genoa into.
yeah, you're right. So it doesn't make sense here to have it, but it does make sense here to have it.
Both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it here.
Well, and then the other thing is it's right here on 3Bs and K.
And that's okay because you can't put it in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
But it should be on this side of the road, not on that side of the road.
I did notice, and I thought that this was like an odd placement thing, but like it's on the opposite side of the side that you're driving on.
Yeah, and that's where it needs to be because
Yeah.
it's commercial.
Yeah. But that's true also of, where else is that true? It's not true of the 3Bs and K at 637, it's on our side too, because of the line.
But at Baker Road,
I was gonna say westbound Baker from Northwood State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it should be on the south side, not on the north side.
it's on the north side right now though.
Shouldn't be, because that's brown.
Well, no, not on Baker, it's on the south side, right?
I was gonna say, I think there is a Brown Township one on the north side.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, over here on Plum. On Plum, it's in Berlin Township.
So it's on the left side.
It's on the north side.
On the north side, yes, but on the left side of 3Bs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Baker and Jumper, we have 18 by 24.
Yeah, that just seems big to me. But
Yeah, that's what it is now.
it just seems big to me.
It does.
I mean, I'm okay with it, but it just seems big to me.
Yeah.
So what about Plunkett Road?
Plunkett, what do we have? I know we had.
Do you need one since you see the sign from on Baker from both sides?
Oh yeah, that was it. It was, you have to get to Plunkett, you have to either go down 36, 37 or either side of the township for that one. Okay. All right, so any feedback for this?
Is it Holstein? Where was that? That was a big one.
Yeah, it's 18 by 24.
Right?
And we talked about Pyatt. So we have one at North and
That's another one of those political things I think we should have.
but we have one at North and Shanahan, North Road and Shanahan. And then we have one at Shanahan. And so
I'd like one
on the corner of Shanahan and Pyatt. You cannot,
Do we have an extra?
I feel like it's, well, I just think it's redundant because then it will confuse people because they're on Shanahan. Oh, welcome to Berlin Township. On North, welcome to Berlin Township. Then they come to the corner of Pyatt and Shanahan and it's up again. Gosh, where is it?
Facing south, right?
It'd be facing this way, it'd be right here, facing that way. It's not facing Shanahan, it's facing the south. Okay, so you come up here, you don't see the sign, you just see that sign is up, like parallel with where. Okay. No problem with that.
Because if, this doesn't really show it, but Shanahan, I mean, Pyatt actually goes a little bit south there. I mean, it's not, because people use it kind of a park, but it's there. And that's why it really is a stop. And people don't necessarily stop.
All right, that is,
Right, Shanahan.
on Pyatt. Shanahan. Facing south. 12 by 18.
I agree with the placement, means you're going,
No, facing, the face is south, which means when you're going north, you see it, because it faces south. Do you call, I mean, if I'm standing like this, right, and I'm like this, I'm facing north right now.
yes.
I'm doing this, I'm facing south. The
Right.
sign would be facing south.
I accept it.
All right, so I gotta just mark these as.
I just use different words.
Okay. North, see, because we're adding an 18 by 24 to North Road.
What was it before?
There's nothing right now there.
Because that is a weird one. Because I could argue that shouldn't be there, but I think it should.
And we said the 8 homes, Cheshire signed 12 by 18. All right, so, for the sign itself, so the 18 by 24s made perfect sense to do welcome to Berlin Township zoning enforced. The 12 by 18s, I'm totally fine that I designed it the exact same way to say welcome to and then zoning enforced. But the 12 by 18s say they just have Berlin Township zoning enforced. They don't have a welcome to. And in some places, it kind of makes sense not to say welcome to, it kind of makes sense to, and you're in Berlin Town. First. Just like, welcome to, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're okay with what, either way?
I'm okay with
Welcome
cutting
to.
off the welcome to.
Oh, okay, so, but then when I did that, the design looks really weird,
Oh.
because if you do zoning enforced, like above and below,
No.
and then
I would just keep it.
yeah, that doesn't look right. Because, so you're saying, remove this and have it just be blue on the top and then zoning enforced below. That didn't look good. It didn't, the I goes up to the blue, that's a blank space. It doesn't go down to the zoning enforced.
Okay, so what you're saying, okay, I'm okay with that.
Welcome to Berlin Township, and then you leave and then you go to the tracks and like, welcome to Berlin Township, so it's a good vibe to it, the sign.
Mhm.
So.
Just really welcoming.
Well, and then the other thing was Jesse asked, well, do you want to have a leave? No, I don't want to have a leaving sign because can you imagine trying to, go 8 houses, leaving Berlin Township? You know, but that's the
That's
reason.
why the cities will say intercorporate.
Leave port, Yeah, they have that on 3637 for the railroad tracks lead forward. So we're good to move forward with this?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Jesse did really great work on this too.
He seems to care, to make sure that the details are covered.
Yes, we were able to go into great detail about the different items and, you know, he even said, I think we need to replace the post here, it's really rust, you know, just a lot of thoroughness to his work on this. So it's greatly appreciated. And I think it will make a real difference to refresh, you know, with our new branding.
The old signs are not welcome.
They are not, they're the opposite of.
Well, and I think the original intent was not.
Maybe.
Well, success.
I thought the original intent was, you know, just use the standard sign and keep it as cheap as possible.
No.
It was to keep out. Fair enough.
I wouldn't say keep out, but it was that you can't do whatever you want here.
Yeah. You're not welcome.
No, you're welcome to follow our rules.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, trustee items.
Well, you're skipping.
Posted roads.
I would not be okay with it because I don't have much. But with that, and obviously, if he put it on the agenda, trustee board is in support.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with it.
Do you have additional details related to this at all?
I was told that the rate of pay would be no. Because if we don't have a rate of pay, we can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to have a conversation about, because before the email, none of it.
Where was that? Is that something you just needed?
Oh, the tree trimming.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's good. Tree trimming, $7,200.
So it costs.
I don't know about that. I just got sticker shock. The other ones at a total of $29,500.
Well, that's ridiculous.
I'd like to have more quotes on that.
But is that, okay, is this inclusive of this? Does this include that?
That's what I think, I don't know. I think maybe it's separate, actually. It kind of looks separate, doesn't it? It looks like
It does.
here's our cemetery work and here's our roads work.
But here's what drives the price up, is when you have dead trees, because they're dangerous.
And I agree with that, and they're harder to chop up, remove all that. This. Anything else? We have this.
Oh, you do, okay. Nothing, so zoning inspector report. Zoning office. Turn on. Commission. No, I don't think so.
Does that mean like where you kind of cut the little pieces off so that it goes up? Like a branch has 10 tentacles and you cut one of them off so that it just like kind of lifts up? I don't know, is that what it means?
I don't know, but it would make sense, but that's why I asked.
I just don't have enough context for this, to be honest with you. I don't have the rate of pay, I don't have the context of in what respects this is coming forward.
I'd be okay with it, but if we don't have the rate of pay, I can't be okay with it, because I don't know.
And then I sort of want to talk through the responsibilities of the assistant road supervisor as well. So, obviously, they fill in for the roads supervisor, superintendent, however we want to describe it. But in the absence, but what are they doing that's different than the road laborer? Also the responsibility. So in the absence of that and then pay, I don't feel that we can make an informed we can take an informed action tonight on the matter, irrespective of, you know. Um, Okay, so we're not gonna do anything on that tonight.
Right?
Do we think would be a good time for him to visit and provide an update? The 11th is very packed.
Well, here's the thing, and why I suggested what I did to Claudia.
another, large digitization project and storage project that I could see keeping somebody busy and engaged to get these records going. Also, getting up and running the permitting software and having some redundancy to be able to fill in for the office when Kathy and Jake are both absent and during our designated times. So I can see that filling in a real gap that we have currently.
So I would agree, and I'd say sooner is better than later because we have that ARP money
And coming from payroll, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So we already have bacon now. Determined by the zoning liaison, at the same rate of pay as just at the same rate of pay as indicated in the organizational meeting.
second. So,
Discussion.
I think that since we're asking flexibility that they have to get permission for so many hours, that we need to be flexible, that if they can't work that many hours, that we're not
Absolutely.
demanding it because.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Now, the intent here is we have these important projects, but they're not urgent.
Right.
The only things that would be urgent would maybe be, can you fill in for the office?
Right.
Or.
I totally agree.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it could be 2 hours, it could be 12 hours, but I think having that flexibility is gonna be critical for that.
And it's important to have somebody who can deal with important things without having to deal with urgent things.
Exactly. Good, okay, please call roll.
Rail,
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Okay. We're moving right along, aren't we?
Yes, actually.
Okay, future meetings. Are we gonna go to executive session late items?
I have something if we go, but it's not something we need to do. Because it can wait till.
I can wait for the next meeting as well for executive session.
But we will need to at the next time.
Okay, yeah, I will. Okay, future meetings. I don't have anything specific. Okay, late items. All right, so I have this resolution. And I mean, I'm concerned now because it doesn't seem that Payrock is listed in this most updated version, which it had been before. So let me just bring it up and see if I can word search really quickly for it.
Sure.
I don't mean to belabor it, but I would like to get this done because we won't meet again until to identify. like it cuts off. Let me see if the prior version has it. Let's see, we do that. So specify the pay transaction provider. Okay. Okay, so Tony did provide the edits and adjusted the name from Payrock to the means by which, so that has been updated. That looks good. And then where it had initially said shall pay a 3.5% convenience fee, the language was just changed to okay, that if these, okay. All right. Okay, I think that based on this feedback, we're ready to move forward. Okay, move to authorize the acceptance of payments by financial transaction devices for township expenses and designating the township fiscal officer as an administrative agent to solicit proposals for financial institutions, issuers of financial transaction devices, and processors of financial transactions. As listed in the resolution draft dated for 8/14/2023.
I'll second. Resolution.
Have a resolution number, so I'm just going to that.
It should be.